Here we go again. It worked again for the second time, second day in a row. Remember that tip I gave you? The one where, for those of you who haven't heard that previous episode, I gave a tip on astral projection where I said, imagine a dot or a piece of light in the center of your brain, the center of your brain. That's what I did. I imagined my brain, and I imagined like my actual brain, and right where the third eye should be, in that place, there is, I imagined the light. I imagined a light right there, and like a dot of light. And once I imagine that light, I say, this will remind me right before I go to sleep that I need to, whatever, astral project, beyond body, whatever, that sort of thing. And this afternoon, when I laid down to take kind of a nap, but then I was thinking I want to take a journey. I really wanted to experiment with this new found technique, I guess, or this new thing. Again, because I don't read around about astral projection and about other things of this nature, this may be something that's been around for quite some time. And so, yeah, but it worked again. I laid down. Let me get right into this. This was pretty cool, although I must say that it was a little strange for me. But let me get into it. Let me tell you about what happened. So I laid down, and again, and I didn't tell you about this in my previous experience, my previous travel that I did when I went on a ship. I had storm sounds in the background. This seems to work for me. I really, really like having the sound of a rainstorm with thunder and, the raindrops. It really, truly relaxes me. So, yeah, it's a really good thing. But so I did it again. I said to myself, well, why not try it again? Let's see if it works again. Eventually it'll come to me. And, it's been quite warm. As I said in a previous episode, it's been quite warm here in California. And in the western part of the United States, we've been going through a heat wave. So again, I didn't know if this was actually going to work or not, because I may not have felt comfortable enough in the heat. But as time went on, I relaxed a little more at a time. And a few times I thought I almost fell asleep, but then I woke up and I opened my eyes and I thought, okay, just relax, breathe, and remember that light is there to remind you that right before you go under, right before you start to sleep, you should be aware, and then you can transport yourself. So again, shut my eyes and relaxed. Pictured that light at the center, right, at my third eye, and kept kind of trying to look in the direction of my third eye as well. And I think I may have heard of that specific technique before, where you're kind of trying to look through your third eye, but I was doing that as well. And eventually it was like sudden. And this was, sometimes things happen. There's always been a process with me and doing things. Again, I talked about this previously with astral projection and with beyond body. With astral projection, rolling out of my body and then, or popping out of my body and then maybe going up through the ceiling. With beyond body, the feeling of motion or the feeling of turning in different angles, different directions. There's darkness, and then the darkness lifts, and then I'm in a place. Not this time, folks. Not this time. This time, I just was there. It was instant. There was darkness, and then suddenly, I was standing in the middle of a playground. I was standing in sand because I could hear the gravel underneath my shoes. I was grinding it. Now, this was significant to me. It may not be, I don't know if it is a significant thing to be grinding sand, but this was significant to me because this meant that I was solid to some degree. As far as I was concerned, if I could grind my feet and then grind the sand underneath it, then I was solid. So I was like, okay, this is the beyond body. Wow, cool. Just beyond the playground, there was green grass. And the grass was really green and it was very nice. It was very nicely cut. And I began walking across it. And just beyond that green grass, I remember there was just an average house. Looked average to me. It wasn't extravagant by any point. I mean, in Northern California, it probably would have cost $1 million, but that's a whole nother story. It was just a normal looking house. Everything in Northern California is extremely expensive. So yeah, anyway, I kept walking. I walked beyond the grass, and then I was walking down a sidewalk. And as I was walking down this sidewalk, I started passing a line of kids, one after another, boys and girls. Maybe they were 11 years old, 12 years old, maybe 13. I'm not sure. I can't focus on a specific face, guys. I can't tell you a specific person because I was just walking by these people, these little kids. And at first I was like, okay, I'm walking past these kids and I'm like, there they are. And then I think I saw like a little girl, maybe dark hair, not 100% sure. And as I was passing her, I just said, hello, excuse me. No response, guys. No response. She didn't see me. She did not hear me. She just kept walking right by. And I was like, what? If I'm in the beyond body, I should have a body. I heard the sound of sand or gravel or whatever it was under my feet as I was grinding it. So I know I'm solid. Maybe the person that passed me was just ignoring me, so I kept walking. Another person, I think it was maybe it was a little boy. I said, excuse me, hello, excuse me, just kept walking by me. Did not see me, did not hear me. Oh, man. Let me tell you something about this. I kind of experienced this with astral projection before. With the beyond body, I actually have too. And I've spoken to my mom about it. We theorize that even when I do beyond body, there are times when I am vibrating at a higher frequency. Because I'm vibrating at a higher frequency, people can't see me, depending on where I am. This may have been one of those times. I don't believe this was astral projection. Again, I felt really solid. I felt like I was walking around, but It doesn't mean that I wasn't vibrating at a higher frequency, and perhaps that was the case, but I was not expecting to be passing people and them not acknowledging me when I said hello. It is a weird feeling, and I can't imagine for the spirit beings that don't have a body, I can't imagine what it's like for them when they're walking around and they're trying to say hello to people, or they're trying to communicate with people and people are not responding to them. I can't imagine what that's like. I mean, I just get a glimpse, they have to be that way, 24/7, or, they don't really have time there where they are. So it's always like that. It's always like that. They can't communicate with people that have bodies. And that must be frustrating, especially if they're trying to get a point across. So I kept walking, and then at one point, I walked up on a porch. Now, again, nobody can see me, so hey, whatever. There were some kids on this porch, and I think they were talking or playing. And I think there was a little girl, and the little girl was getting in this little boy's face, and she was torturing him. She kept yelling and screaming at him, but I don't remember what the exact words were, but she was really teasing him. And I just looked at her and I said, please leave him alone. Why don't you leave him alone? I said it a couple times, and of course, he couldn't hear me. She couldn't hear me. Nothing. And after saying this over and over again, I just said, you know what? I give up. Nobody can hear me. Nobody can see me. Oh my gosh. I give up. And then within seconds, I was back. I opened my eyes back in the physical. Wow, guys. Oh my gosh. I just sat there and I was just thinking about what had happened, and I was like, wow. The most amazing thing for me was the fact that I just suddenly appeared somewhere. It was like, bam. It is an amazing feeling to do that, but it is a very odd feeling. Let me tell you again, I want to emphasize this to you again for those of you who are looking to astral project, or looking to leave your body, will be walking around or flying around in different places. I want to caution you that it might be a shock to you that people can't see you and people can't hear you. I'm sure that to some, it would be kind of like, oh, this is cool. I can walk around. Nobody can hear me or see me. But you know what? It's not really cool. I'm just being honest with you. It is not cool. It's actually of kind of a weird feeling, and I don't know how much I like it. So that was my experience. Beyond body, higher frequency. Thank you so much for coming on this journey with me. Until next time, take care.